Being in the education field for quite some time now, it has been really enlightening to how information and communication are effective tools in imparting knowledge to the learners. Use of such is important to facilitate learning, especially now, not only with the changes brought about by the pandemic, but also with the advent of new technologies such as video conferencing and applications that aid collaboration in the digital space. The pandemic only highlighted the need to adapt to such technologies in order to cope with this VUCA world. In my time in the COMM360 Tech, I have witnessed the impact of having the knowledge of such technologies, or even the lack of such. This either makes or breaks educational institutions in each of their academic endeavors. Changing times call for change in measures, tools, and approaches. And in order to cope with such rapid change in the educational landscape, one should be anticipatory in one's approach to education. This was the push made by COMM360 Tech when they spearheaded the capacity building for school heads in Southeast Asia. Managerial leadership, dealing with the uncertain times, is a course produced and developed for the school heads of Southeast Asia. It used different technologies focusing on human skills. However, aside from the technologies that are required to thrive in this VUCA world, there are also soft skills or human skills that are to be developed as well. Some of which are the following: foster a culture of trust, promoting self-agency, as well as reinforcing self-care. From a performance management perspective, this would equate to creating a psychologically safe environment. As noted by one of the resource speakers, Dr. Edna Franco from the Ateneo de Manila University Psychology Department, trust is a two-way street. Just as leaders should engender qualities that promote trust, they should also be able to develop trust in the people whom they work with. And with that comes the effort in creating a safe, enabling, and conducive environment for collaboration and partnerships. On a related note, self-agency also plays an important role in thriving in a pandemic-stricken society. With the changes it brought about, each one of us should be able to function on our own. And for us to be able to do so, there are three prerequisites. First is clear tasks and roles. Second, build capabilities. And third, develop confidence. All those lead to more motivated and engaged performances. Lastly, with trust, agency, confidence, and motivation, one should never forget to take care of oneself. Self-care is the most important trait that one should develop, especially in this time of great challenges and strife. Such care for oneself constitute the following: taking the time to nurture our own needs, giving ourselves space, and permitting ourselves to need something, to need care. All these human skills are needed to succeed in dealing with the challenges brought about by the changing times. Another set of skills is needed in today's information, communication, and media landscapes. This skill set covers the following areas: information literacy, communication literacy, media literacy, and knowledge management. Information literacy refers to the ability to know when information is needed and where to find such information, and how to use and apply said information effectively as needed. Next is digital literacy, which refers to the skills needed to operate and function in an environment of digital technologies, some of which are hardware gadgets and devices, as well as software applications and web platforms. In relation to that, we have media literacy, which refers to the ability to know and differentiate information from multiple sources and channels. Such channels can be traditional, like newspapers, magazines, and others, and digital, like blogs, podcasts, and presentations, among others. And lastly, Knowledge management refers to the field wherein knowledge is treated as a manageable resource that is utilized to achieve community goals and objectives. This may also refer to the sharing and transferring of knowledge from one source to another for organizational growth and development. With the large amount of data and information that proliferates in both digital and physical spaces, being able to manage such is an all the more important skill. The existence of large amount of data reflects the increasing complexity of this world. Thus, the conception of debukad evolved from the classic buka narrative. As introduced by Ian Woodward, disruption and diversity truly reflect the negative ramifications brought about by technologies. As the classic term goes, progress is a double-edged sword, and this proves just that. Disruption is the confusion caused by technologies, while diversity is the societal difference in culture, gender, race, and generations, among others. In conclusion, harnessing information communication and media technologies is indeed important to cope with the challenges brought about by the digital world. However, such doesn't end in mastering said technologies. Developing human skills is also necessary for the further betterment of one's organization, one's community, and even oneself.